Hello, my name's Joe Johnson and I've been actively engaged in research into natural remedies for over 20 years. If you have a yeast infection, you need to really listen because this crucial short video will directly affect you. What I have discovered about yeast infection and stopping yeast infection quickly is cutting edge and just might be the untapped resource that you've been looking for. I'm going to show you how simple it is to quickly stop any of your yeast infection symptoms and how to heal your yeast infection without the need for expensive, useless and even dangerous drugs. Emma Williams, the editor of this website, has urged me to share with you details of an astonishing discovery that I've made about yeast infection, one that gets rid of your yeast infection faster than you ever dreamed possible and in many cases almost overnight. So now in plain English, you're going to find out what is actually going on in and around your body. So right now, as you watch this video, there's a raging war going on in the warm, dark, moist areas of your body. These will be your genitals, your backside, under your arms, and even in your mouth. Specifically, yeast and fungus are breeding wherever it is warm, moist, dark, and there's a food supply, causing you itchiness, discomfort, embarrassment and misery. And unless you find a way to kill the fungus and the yeast without damaging your immune system, then this misery is going to go on and on for years. Now, before I show you a simple way to kill the fungus and the yeast, I want you to consider this. As I say, your body is the perfect breeding ground for fungus. It's warm, moist, plenty of food, it's yeast paradise. So normally your immune system will keep the fungus and the yeast under control. Apart from the odd itch, you won't even know there's anything else going on. But if you've been stressed, worried, maybe overworked or taken drugs, including antifungals, or you've let your diet slip, your immune system becomes slightly weaker. That is enough for the yeast and the fungus to get a grip on your body. And once your body becomes infected, then you've got a yeast infection. Now, yeast can make a mess of your genitals and your anus. The fungus eats the skin, weakening it, and it can be agony, and it's terrible what it can do to you. It splits the skin and it makes it itch all over the place. Either way, yeast infection, it can be extremely distressing and it'll linger for months, even years, unless you get it treated. And to make things even worse, you're in a catch-22 situation. You can attempt to use antifungal creams to treat yourself, but if you've already tried them, you already know they don't work. They're just not strong enough. If you use antifungal drugs, the capsules to kill the fungus, then you'll have to swallow them, which means that the whole of your immune system is now shocked and weakened even further by the toxic impact of the powerful antifungal drugs. This is why antifungal drugs seem to work for a week or two, then your yeast infection just comes back worse than ever before. One of the side effects of using antifungal drugs is yeast infection. You couldn't make that up, but it's true. And in case you're in any doubt about the danger of modern drugs, according to a recent report by eminent US doctors, and you can see the proof below, in the United States alone, the total number of deaths caused by conventional medicine like antifungal medication is almost 800,000 people a year. That's about 2,200 a day. So it's evident that the American medical system is the leading cause of death and injury in the United States. And that's these eminent doctors saying that, not me. So I was desperate to find a way of killing the yeast infection without harming your immune system. I've seen so many people lose their health to fungal infections, even after 6 or 7 rounds of antifungal medication. And it's tragic and it was unnecessary. And that was why I did my research. You see, human beings with yeast infection have been around for tens of thousands of years, but drug companies have only been around about 100 years. And they don't want you to know what your ancestors knew. So my first step in research is always to go back into history. And after a lot of reading, and I don't mean the usual herbalist research books, I mean I've got secret access to some of the best herbalist remedy books on the planet. Books that are mostly kept hidden away by rich collectors, specialist collectors, private libraries, even drug companies have got these books hidden away. I've also got access to books that science believes are not worth looking at. Books written by people who have zero medical qualifications, but who have lived in the wilds of Mother Nature all their lives, and who have had herbal remedies passed down from one generation to the next. It was in such a research book that I found the clues to an ancient cure for yeast infection. And the first clue was Roman gladiators. I discovered that every Roman gladiator had to ensure he always had three things. One, his uniform to protect himself. Two, his sword to attack his enemy. But three, a small leather pouch of a concentrated herb. And if the gladiator was ever to receive a wound from a sword or a dagger or any other weapon, he was to rub the herb into the wound to prevent infection. Even the deepest sword wounds would be filled with this herb because of its amazing abilities to kill bacteria and fungal infection. Now that's interesting. And that was a green light for more research, and I began to see this herb everywhere in ancient manuscripts. And the most obvious and well-known clue was staring right in the face. Clue number 2, the birth of Jesus. Now, irrespective of your religious beliefs, the intrinsic essence of this research holds true. According to historical texts, when Jesus was born, he was visited by 3 wise men, and they gave him gold, frankincense, and the third one brought myrrh. And that's a herb called myrrh. And further research has proven that myrrh was regarded to be the most powerful natural antibiotic and antifungal of the ancient world. So irrespective of any religious beliefs, myrrh truly is an antifungal fit for a king. Now, of course, I've heard of the herb before and I've used it many times, and but I had no idea it was such a powerful natural antifungal, one that could be put directly into wounds or put directly onto yeast infection. And I knew that up till now that most natural remedies for yeast infection are nothing more than mild antifungal creams, and they just don't work. They sometimes help a little, but for yeast infections they don't work, they're just not strong enough. I expected my research to last 6 to 12 months, but I had a 100% proven remedy in 6 weeks. I wanted to test it for longer, but my conscience, it just wouldn't let me, because every single client with a yeast infection was cured, sometimes within just a few hours. Now, in order to increase the antifungal effects of the remedy, I added 3 other powerful and proven natural antifungal herbs to the myrrh. So the combined antifungal effect of the 4 herbs is unstoppable. So this remedy has been proven countless times to cure yeast infection because it kills the fungus and any yeast infection on your body on contact. You simply massage a few drops of the remedy onto your body. It takes about 5 seconds and you do it 3 times a day. That's it. No more itching, no more embarrassment, no more worries, no more antifungal drugs that slaughter your tired immune system and probably cause your itch in the first place. Now I'm going to tell you something now that is going to cost me sales, but I'm not bothered. I'm more interested in telling you the truth and in you getting better than I am in selling this stuff. So please listen. The yeast infection fungus is also alive inside your body, and it feeds on sugar. And the very best way of killing the fungus inside your body is just to lay off sugar for about 4 weeks. Now that will ensure that the fungus disappears inside of you. So this remedy will kill off the fungus on the outside of you, no problem. And if you lay off the sugar just for a while, the fungus will die off inside of you in a few weeks. That's it. This is a convenient and easy remedy to use, which means that you don't have to spend your days making expensive and time-consuming doctor appointments or discussing embarrassing problems with strangers in the drugstore. It's just a small bottle of a thick, clear, oily herbal liquid. And it's small, it'll easily fit in your pocket or in your purse. You can dab a few drops onto your body wherever the fungus is growing, and it will kill the fungus. It'll keep your body fresh and clean and fungus free. Now I plan to launch the remedy called the Yeast Doctor with advertising, fancy packaging and sending it out to a small network of distributors. But I never got the chance. Word quickly spread about the results I was getting with the yeast infection doctor, and patients and herbalists, they came from all over the place to my practice and literally demanded I make it for them. But it wasn't so simple. You see, I tested a lot of different myrrh, and the only organic myrrh which consistently stopped yeast infection came from the Middle East. Now, in these days, war-torn, struggling times, can you imagine how hard it is to import a shipment from the Middle East? So to say my ingredient supply is in the lap of the gods is a massive understatement. Now I've managed to source enough ingredients for 3 batches. I've made each batch by hand myself, I've measured it, I've weighed it, I've mixed the ingredients myself, I've blended the ingredients myself. So don't worry about that. The yeast infection doctor remedy I've made are of the highest quality, and I've handed 2 of the batches over to my trusted friend Emma Williams. So if you've got a yeast infection, then I strongly suggest that you get this remedy called Yeast Infection Doctor before supplies run out. I call using the Yeast Infection Doctor remedy, it's like an avalanche of healing for a very good reason. The way the drops of the remedy floods your body with hard-hitting herbs. It's like experiencing an avalanche of itching relief once you put it on. This remedy packs a wallop. You'll suddenly feel your body improving. So within a few hours of using it, you'll know your yeast infection problem's getting better. But you must hurry. I normally only give this remedy to my personal clients and fellow herbalists. I've never committed a single batch of this remedy to anybody else before. Now Emma's begged me not to let the other herbalists or online stores know what we were up to till she had the stock. Well, she's got the stock now, and it's going faster than even I imagined. So if you mess around or order late, or you may miss out. But if you've got a yeast infection, that would be a horrible mistake. So don't let that happen. This is big for anyone with a yeast infection. If you truly want to get rid of your embarrassing, scratching and itching and all of that, you want to get rid of it fast, this remedy will instantly give you the power and the ability to heal your own body. The result will be you having a healthy body, skin free of itching and redness and free of yeast infection. So have a good look at the testimonials below and see how the Yeast Infection Doctor has helped men and women across the country to get rid of their yeast infection fast. So this is your chance to benefit from a guaranteed supply of the Yeast Infection Doctor remedy. But maybe you've got a few understandable seeds of doubt, and that's fair enough because after all, you don't know me. So let me put your mind at rest so that you can experience this remedy for yourself. You can try this remedy to your heart's content for a full 90 days if you wish, and you don't risk a single penny trying the remedy for yourself. You've got a complete ironclad 90-day unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. That basically quite clear and simple. If this is a breakthrough, if this remedy doesn't easily get rid of your yeast infection quickly, or you're not completely satisfied in any way at all, then I insist you send the Yeast Infection Doctor back to Emma in any condition, and she will personally make sure you get a fast and full refund of every penny you paid for the remedy. No questions asked, no hassles, and you've got my word on that. Okay, so how much will this remedy cost you? Well, I normally charge my clients $200 for an appointment plus $170 for the remedy because it is handmade, it is organic. But because you don't have to have an appointment with me to get it, and I'm not using my offices and my staff and all the equipment, I've agreed with Emma to give you a 50% discount on the remedy. This means that you can get your Yeast Infection Doctor remedy for just $87 plus $5 shipping. That means you're going to save over $280. Plus, Emma's literally manhandled me into giving you some additional bonus gifts of some books worth $127 for the first 100 people who get the Yeast Infection Doctor. Now those bonus books alone are worth more than the cost of the remedy. Now this is the first time, maybe the last time, that my yeast infection remedy has ever been sold for less than $170. $87 is less than the price of a course of useless, dangerous antifungal drugs. It's less than the price of a visit to the doctor, and it's certainly less than the price of driving backwards and forwards to the drugstore, buying creams and lotions and drugs and all the other stuff that doesn't work. So order your remedy right now whilst Emma still has the stock and you're still on this page. Simply click the link below. Emma will look after you And if you've got any questions at all about yeast infection or the yeast infection remedy, you can write to me at any time. Simply click on the link below and Emma will get the remedy in the post to you today. I look forward to helping you get rid of your yeast infection once and for all. Okay, bye for now.